top value is what you will get from the Chopard Malaki line. The designs of Chopard have been around since the 1800s, and today it is owned by a German company. At this point, there are nearly 70 fragrances with the Chopard name. In this video, our focus is going to be Chopard Malaki, which is a fantastic line. So don't miss out as we discover Chopard Malaki. The Malaki line features 7 fragrances. The first one was released in 2012 and it is called Oud Malaki. Let's give it a quick look right here. These are the bottles that the Malaki line comes in. They all are very similar, sort of cylindrical, and you see that the Chopard is going to be right at the top right here. Also, it's a snap-on, it's not magnetic, and it's about this hand size right here. This one has been around since 2012, and you might ask yourself, can I still wear Oud Malaki today? And what about the oud in this one? Is it too strong for today's sweet noses? Well, I can assure you that this is a beautiful, timeless fragrance. It is created by Dominique Ropillon. This is the perfumer behind fragrances like Portrait of a Lady, Vetiver Extraordinaire. Both of those are from Frederic Malle. And yes, you can absolutely wear this one today. Without hesitation. Gorgeous, warm, slightly spicy tobacco with a hint of woody oud. Now I say woody oud, since oud can often or sometimes smell less like wood and a little bit more like the decomposing side of agar wood. So no worries here, as the oud in this one is most likely a modernized representation of the original agar wood found in Middle Eastern fragrances. Oud Malaki also has a little bit of a brightness, that is sort of constructed of a sense of wormwood, lavender, and a touch of grapefruit. It's quite nice when you first spray it. But don't be fooled. It isn't a fresh fragrance at all. Instead, it is more of a spicy tobacco with smooth leather and a hint of freshness peeking through sort of the classy bones of relaxation of this fragrance. It is really, really hard not to like this one. Every time, I walk up to it and I smell it, I like it for its warm, sort of sophisticated embrace. And that's Oud Malaki 2012. Then in 2014, Chopard released Rose Malaki. Comes in the identical bottle, only this time it's going to be a silver top, but the identical bottles. All of these are going to be very similar as far as the bottle is concerned. Often, rose is going to be coupled with the note of oud, since it is really a popular combination and many people like it. However, I have to admit, rose, that combination with oud, doesn't really do it for me. I have only ever smelled one rose oud combination, and that was a Fragrance du Bois fragrance I smelled in Belgrade, a couple of years ago. I thought that one was really nice. That's the single reason I didn't buy this Rose Malaki until recently, because I'm not really a fan of it. But I have almost all of them, except for the new leather 2024. So if you're waiting for, a Malaki leather review in this video, I'll go ahead and save you the time. I don't have it yet. I decided to wait and to get that one since I would have to buy it at full retail. And I'd rather wait for the price to drop a little bit to a more favorable price, under $100. I will review it once I acquire it at a later date, promise. However, I did get the Rose Malaki because I figured I needed to review at least most of the line in this video. And I have to say, this is a fantastic rose fragrance. Honestly, I was completely blown away of how much I like this one. Considering, the rose in this fragrance is right up front, right at the top when you first spray it. It's right there, you can smell it. It is a rose fragrance. Even the bottle screams rose. It's sort of a red rosy color. Now I have to say, after smelling it, now I find the color of the bottle also beautiful. That's kind of crazy to me. It must be most likely the Damascus rose or damask rose in this fragrance. It's also known as Iranian rose, Bulgarian rose, Dulbijerka rose from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Different names, but it is definitely a damask rose. Rose Malaki is absolutely a beautiful Malaki fragrance. It's one of my favorites out of the line. The slight femininity that the rose displays in this one right here is really super quickly whisked away by the cedar and a slight earthy nuance and a delicate saffron note. Rose Malaki is a kind of a woody rose that is sort of held up by the coziness of the original sort of in the background, the Oud Malaki. So you got some rose and the Oud Malaki is sort of in the background. Super well done. It is easy to wear for a guy as well as a woman, I think, with only a small sacrifice as far as the longevity is concerned. Not very much though. If you want a rose fragrance that isn't too feminine, or too floral, then Rose Malaki is a great and beautiful choice. Even if you're skeptical of Rose Oud, like I was. The next one is going to be Amber Malaki. And Amber Malaki came out in 2015 and it was featured in one of my videos. Don't wear these if you don't want to smell better than others. Amber Malaki is a smooth amber vanilla fragrance with a slightly smoky touch. This one is so smooth, you can totally pull it off in the office in the fall or winter time. It does have a slight little boozy quality, but it is really a wonderful sort of amber with a slight little booze. Really, really beautiful. The booze in this one is not going to be overbearing. Instead, it's going to be super cozy and soft, with a little bit of smokiness at the beginning that actually fades rather quickly. I think Amber Malaki is one of those fragrances that you could actually start with from the Malaki line and be really happy with if you like, vanilla amber. It is a very easy one to like due to the amber and bourbon vanilla notes. Amber Malaki has all the goodness of the Oud Malaki in a sweet vanilla kind of way. Reminiscent of fragrances like Hugo Boss bottled, if it were created, in a classy way of Chopard. One of my favorite notes is the note of musk. And it just so happens that the 2017 release from Chopard is called Musk Malaki. This is a musk choice that I would reach for, or a Chopard choice, Malaki choice, if I'm feeling like a Chopard fragrance during the warmer days of the year. Just like the others so far, Musk Malaki is super smooth. It's a really smooth fragrance. Let's give it a spray. This one, however, is a tad lighter than some of the other ones. The soft freshness you will find in this one, in Musk Malaki, is from the bright cedar note that's at the very top here and is surrounded by musk and leather. Some of the spiciness of the previous ones is still there. It's still sort of nuanced in there. However, it is going to be a little bit lighter. And of course, you can also tell that this is still a Malaki fragrance. They all have sort of that DNA a little bit in the background. But this is going to be a great one, or this would be a great one when it's a little warmer outside. You do have to like musk. If you do, then this is a fantastic choice anytime you're in the mood for a creamy, leathery musk, suitable for just about any time, including the office. Some of the musk fragrances, of course, can lean towards the animalistic side or animal side, and some of them a little bit on the powdery side. I feel that Musk Malaki is more on the powdery side and therefore almost unisex with a slight lean towards the masculine side. Now, I'm not sure, but perhaps the musk release didn't do as well as Chopard hoped, and the Malaki fans were sort of missing the amber and smoke of the previous ones. I say that because the 2020 release of Black Incense Malaki doubled down on these notes. Still in the same sort of bottle, only with a golden top in solid black. Still a 80 milliliter bottle or 2.7 fluid ounces. This time, however, it is solid black and runs on the darker masculine side for sure. Of course, anyone can wear what they want. I don't really categorize fragrances too much. After all, it should be an experience for the wearer. And if you want to wear this as a female, you go right ahead. At least that's the reason I love fragrances, because it's an experience for me. So feel free to chime in down in the comments and let me know. Do you mind, women wearing men's fragrances? Is that weird to you? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you haven't subscribed or liked the video yet, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to do so. You ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. I am super happy to have you traveling the Central with me. Thanks for joining. Let's get back to Black Incense Malaki. This is a dark fragrance with its resinous smoke and agarwood notes. There are some leather and spicy notes as well, but you'll have to give it a little bit of time. Smoke is definitely the leader in this, pack of notes, followed by some leather and woody amber. This is by far the darkest one out of all the Malaki, with the original scent sort of hiding in the background. It is definitely behind a wall of smoke though. While the others so far are relatively safe, Black Incense Malaki is going to be a try before you buy recommendation for me. Now, I don't think you should, blind buy any of these, but definitely not this one. I personally like it, but just to be safe, since this is a powerful, smoky and dark fragrance, try it before you buy it. Of course, you should always, try a fragrance before spending any of your hard-earned cash on any of, these kind of luxuries. But if you are looking for a fragrance that is opulent, dark and smoky with oud and a touch of leather, then this is a really nice one from Chopard. Next up is one of the favorites from the Malaki line for many. It's a 2023 Cedar Malaki. This one has been in the limelight, a time or two, and with good reason, staying away from the smoky and dark oud. This is an Alberto Morillas creation, and you can definitely tell that Morillas is behind this one. It has a little bit of his, sort of Morillas DNA in it. This one is a little bit lighter, and we're going back to the sense of wormwood, lavender, and a touch of grapefruit that we had in the original. Morillas added the notes of green cypress, cypriol, and patchouli. This makes Cedar Malaki a beautiful sort of earthy and woody fragrance. Really nice one. Of course, there are also some cedar notes in here. A super nice touch to this Malaki cedar is a beautiful, deep sort of sweetness from the addition of lapdanum. This lapdanum note goes really well with the shared sort of, scent profile, smooth scent profile of the rest of the Malaki line. Online, some people have compared, this one right here to Gucci Guilty Absolute. I don't know, I think that's a bit of a stretch, at least to my nose. Cedar Malaki is more of an earthy and woody cedar with a nice dose of, deep, sweet lapdanum. As of right now, Cedar Malaki does not hold the #1 spot in the line for me. It is a good one, and it's a good addition, to the Malaki lineup. That doesn't mean that it won't move up, as time goes on and as I wear it more. I haven't worn it too much. But no matter how you twist it, Chopard Malaki is a stellar fragrance line. In uniqueness, and if you consider that each of the 80 milliliter fragrances are usually obtainable for a decent price, it is really hard to beat. It is a little bit more on the classy side. It is a little bit more on the smooth, heavier side. It's not light and airy. It definitely has some power to it, some weight, let's say. Really, really, really well done though. I'm a little surprised that the Malaki fragrances, don't get a lot of love or more love online. I wonder why that is. Let me know, why do you think that the Malaki line doesn't get as much love as I think it deserves? What are your thoughts on that? Let me know in the comments. Also, join me on the scent trail if you haven't done so, and like the video and subscribe. Love to have you on board. I hope you had fun exploring the Malaki line with me. Take care, and I will talk to you soon. Ciao.